Hello, welcome to day 36 of our Corona confinement. How I spent my Corona confinement making it with metaphysics. Well, remember yesterday I quoted Charles Fillmore, who at 94 years old said, I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm as I spring forth with a mighty faith to do that which is to be done by me. Do you feel the zeal? Do you feel the enthusiasm? Well, maybe you will if you will later if you don't feel that way right now. I do feel the zeal. When I was thinking about that, I try to pay attention to what people tell me, how they're feeling, how they're getting through things. I watch the reports on TV and programs where people are talking about how they're dealing with this. Well, I'd like to invite you to kind of do a test on yourself and say, where is my enthusiasm? Do I feel excited? Or do I feel drained? Do I feel bored? As I thought about these things, I feel very enthusiastic. And this time for me, I can't believe it's day 36 already. I made my preparations. Remember how we talked about the importance when you're prepared, you feel better going through it. I did my best to prepare, so that's not weighing me down. I do have other concerns. I am very sad to say that for the first time since this started, I now know someone who has passed away from the coronavirus. It was my niece's her boyfriend's grandfather. And that makes it very, very real. So don't let my saying I have zeal and enthusiasm lead you to believe that, I'm fine and dandy and bubbly and everything's fine. No, I have my ups and my downs, but with the spiritual gift of zeal, I manage to handle it probably better than if I didn't have it. So today, I want to share this gift with you and hope that you can get some zeal and enthusiasm stirred up in your life if you don't already have that going on. I always tell people, they would say to me, God, you're like the Energizer Bunny, where do you get that? Where do you get that energy? And I said, and it's the truth, I run on passion. I am filled with zeal. Now, different people have different levels of energy, and mine tends to be off the chart, which is not always a good thing because sometimes it means we are intense. People that know me will say I am intense. And some people are very laid back and mellow, but that doesn't matter because the power of zeal is in everyone. It is a spiritual faculty that moves us forward, that drives us. I have a book. This is called The Revealing Word. It's written by Charles Fillmore, and it has all of the, a lot of definitions for words, metaphysical interpretations, but I wanted to give you his interpretation of zeal. It is intensity. Oh, did I just say that? Intensity, ardor, enthusiasm, the inward fire of the soul that urges man onward, regardless of the intellectual mind of caution or conservatism. It's kind of saying, like we talked about courage, in the courage is not being without fear. It is moving forward despite the fear. Like all of the 12 powers that we teach in Unity, it doesn't mean zeal is 100% good and wonderful. We can be too zealous. We can overpower people. And on the other hand, we can also totally lack zeal. It's my hope today that I'm going to help you get in touch with zeal and the ability to fire yourself up when you're not feeling very fired. So, okay, so we talk a lot about the two levels of consciousness, the upper level, which is spiritual consciousness, and the lower, which is our very human, very carnal consciousness. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Some of us spend time more being human beings having an occasional spiritual experience. I've done both, and frankly, I'd rather, try to operate from the spiritual realm, because zeal on the lower realm would be more likened to lust or drive. It's this I want to get energy, I'm going to go and I'm going to get it and I'm going to take it and I've got to have it. Whereas in higher consciousness, zeal is a very exciting, I want to live, I want to give, I want to share, I want to be, I want to experiment. You see the difference? So that's what I would like to hopefully help you to connect with, is that feeling of zeal and enthusiasm. We access this gift most through prayer and meditation to keep it on the spiritual level as opposed to the very human level of lust or drive. There's nothing wrong with drive. It all depends where that drive is driving you. So we can get better in touch with the best use and get fired up when we connect with that part of us that wants to express. To express, the word express means to press into. Don't you want to press your ideas, your motivations into the world, into manifestation? I do. That's what keeps me going every day. Every spiritual faculty of the 12 powers of people, mankind, humankind, has a body center. We've talked about that before with the imagination, and yesterday we talked about the gut in the gut level of divine order. Today, when we talk about zeal, the body center for that power, it doesn't mean that's where the power is located. It means that's where we experience the power in our physical body. It's a spiritual faculty we experience in our physical body. It's located right here in the medulla oblongata. It is called it's the neck, the part of the brain that comes down, the stem of the brain. And did you ever, this will really point out to you what zeal can be like. Did you ever see a dog that gets either angry or upset about something, and he and the hair stands up on the back of his neck and shoulders? Well, that's how zeal was expressing physically in the dog. Now, the first time I realized that, I was studying unity and I was studying the 12 powers and all this stuff, and I knew there were all body centers, but the first time I really connected with the energy of a spiritual faculty in my physical being was one day when I was working. I had a job I did not like. I did not like that job so much, but I couldn't leave it because it was right before I was going to seminary. And in order to be accepted into this program, you had to prove that you were stable. And I hadn't had the job that I had before I applied for seminary that long. And you needed to have it for 2 years. So I had to stay there for the 2 years. And one day, one of the people that, one of the bosses where I worked, came out with this really, really negative program and how to run something that went against the grain of everything I am. And as I walked across the room, I literally felt all the little hairs on the back of my neck stand up, and I said, "Oh, where the faculty of zeal is operating. Every one of the 12 powers that I'm telling you about has a body center. So zeal is back here. We talked about the strength being at the lower back, and it's that you'll feel that strength when you're ready to stand up for something. You'll literally feel yourself kind of not stiffen up, but stand up strong and lean forward. With the divine order, you feel it in your gut if something's out of order, and with the imagination, it's like behind the eyes, and that's where we get. I got an idea. Watch your eyes. I got an idea. So as we learn these different powers and faculties, I hope you connect with them as well. Now, the other side of zeal is impulsivity. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Zeal, impulsiveness is the negative side of zeal and enthusiasm. That is when we have that impulse to buy something we probably shouldn't buy, to say something we probably shouldn't say, or to do something we probably shouldn't do. It's a wonderful, if we listen to these faculties in our body, we will get that feeling like, oh, wait a minute, I better rethink this. I do my very best to practice listening to my wisdom and my when my zeal wants to take over, I try to pull it back. I do that three-day thing. Don't just buy it, and the marketers are going to try to get you to get it by saying, oh, this is your last day, you'll never get this price again, and we have that impulse, I've got to do that. No, you don't. Sit back and wait. I do 3 days. If I still want it after 3 days, on Amazon, you can put it in your shopping cart. And in 3 days, if you want it still, it's there. Sometimes I let it sit there like for a long time, and then one day I go, I really do want that. So it's really helpful if you can work. Don't go with that impulse. When you feel that impulse, it could be zeal. Now, if you want to tune into it, what do? Close your eyes. Take a deep breath, because we know when we take a deep breath, our brain gets a rest. Isn't that great? So if you're really ready to do something on impulse, say something on impulse, buy something on impulse, take that breath, a few deep breaths if you need them, and then you can know that you move forward grounded. Measure it up. Is this what I really want? Now, we want to engage our zeal. We want to stir it up and draw it out of us because it's in there. Even if you're feeling funky, believe me, it's in there because it is a spiritual faculty that is yours as a child of God, as a spiritual being, having this human experience. So we want to exercise our zeal, but we want to be grounded when we do it. You know what I call it is being calmly high-powered. When I'm being my overzealous self, like, no, that's not the best way to use my zeal. When I get calmly high-powered, when I get calm, grounded in what I'm going to do, then I can do a better job. So how do you connect with that zeal? How do you connect with that great energy? It all comes down, you'll feel the zeal. Think about things that excite you. Think about, this isn't just going to pop into your head, We have everything, but it's ours to use. It's like Stretton Smith, a Unity minister, used to teach, life is like a buffet. Everything you could ever want is there. But nobody's going to serve you. You got to get up and get it yourself. So, to get up and get yourself your zeal, all you have to do is spend some time digging into your memories, digging into your spirit. Think about the things that excite you. Books or stories or movies that incited you and got you like, I want to do that. Think about a recipe. I just watched a recipe on YouTube a little while ago about how to make crackers. Now, you know, I have my little afternoon ritual of a glass of wine and cheese and crackers, Triscuits usually, but my Triscuits are running low, and I don't want to run out of Triscuits, but when I do, I know I can make crackers. In fact, I'm so enthusiastic, filled with zeal and enthusiasm, I think I'm going to make some crackers now. Well, not right this minute, but today, this week, even if I don't need them. That's what enthusiasm is. It's that excitement and energy. Sometimes you can stir up the energy in your soul by listening to music. You can listen to like I love my favorite music. It gets me going is folk music. When I was in the Catholic Church, I loved folk mass. If there was one thing I loved, it was those folk songs. Oh my gosh. And that's why I even got a guitar, so I could learn to play some of those folk songs. In Unity, we had some very special songs that stuck in my heart. I'm ready for a miracle. Oh, I love that song. I'm going to share a little bit. Maybe I can plant an earworm in your, and I don't sing well, I sing with passion and zeal. It goes, I'm ready for a miracle, ready for a miracle, I'm ready for a miracle today. Are you ready for a miracle? Did that stir up your zeal a little bit? Or were you just embarrassed for my voice? Well, sing it yourself and maybe you'll stir up some enthusiasm. It's in there for you. All you have to do is find the things that excite you, that you have enthusiasm. You get that zeal going and get it going on a regular basis. How would you like the world to be? How can you not look out at the sun and the oh, we have a beautiful day today, cold but beautiful. But I mean, it's like, what a blessing. What a blessing. That's something to get enthusiastic about. But I can't tell you what you should get enthusiastic about. God put that in you, for you, in me, for me, each in our own different way. So, I invite you, find that zeal and enthusiasm. The more you practice it, the more it will come out. Try very hard, if you're getting overzealous, to stop. The last thing I'd like to say is that if you are not feeling any enthusiasm, even after trying a bit, if you are feeling very drained, if you are feeling very bored, you may not just be lacking enthusiasm and zeal. You may be experiencing depression, which is certainly understandable in the days that we're in. So, no matter what, you know, all these wonderful powers and energies and everything we've got, sometimes we need a little help from a friend, from a minister, from a counselor. Don't be afraid to seek some help. Well, we're going to explore a different one of our powers tomorrow. What will it be? Tune in and see. In the meantime, know that I love you, I bless you, and I behold the divinity in you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.